The very first night she moved in, I heard it. Soft whispers seeping through the walls at 2 a.m., like someone repeating a secret over and over. And by the second night, I realized something even stranger. My new roommate locked her bedroom door from the inside every single night, as if she was afraid of someone or something. But the real shock came the day I found out who those whispers were meant for. Before I start the story, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new narration. My name is Charlotte Avery, and this is what happened when I let a stranger move into my apartment. It began when my previous roommate moved out unexpectedly, leaving me scrambling to find someone fast because the rent was too high for one person. I posted an ad online, and within 2 hours, a woman named Mara Benson replied. She seemed perfect, quiet, polite, and desperate to move in immediately. She said she needed a fresh start, and honestly, at the time, that didn't sound suspicious. We signed everything the same day. The odd part started the night she brought in her things. She had only one suitcase, yet it was so heavy she struggled to pull it up the stairs. When I offered help, she refused so quickly it actually startled me. Later that night, I heard the lock on her bedroom door click shut. Loud, precise, final. Then the whispers began. Slow, rhythmic, like she was repeating a phrase. At first, I thought maybe it was a sleep habit, until I realized the words never changed. Every single night. The same string of murmured sentences, too soft to understand, but too deliberate to ignore. I tried to brush it off. People have quirks, right? But by the fourth night, her behavior grew stranger. She never left her room before sunrise. She checked the windows 3 times before going to sleep. She kept her phone face down at all times, and she jumped whenever mine rang. I chalked everything up to nerves until something happened that forced me to dig deeper. One evening, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed on the kitchen table. The screen lit up with a name that immediately made my stomach drop. The Collector. Before I could process it, the message preview flashed. Did you tell her yet? I stepped back, unsure whether to pretend I hadn't seen it, and before I could decide, Mara walked out of the hallway, her face pale, eyes wide, like she already knew I had read it. She grabbed the phone so quickly, her hand shook. "I'm expecting an important message," she said. "Please don't touch my things." Her tone wasn't rude, just terrified. That night, the whispers didn't stop at 2 a.m. They started at midnight, faster, more urgent, as if she was preparing herself for something. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of drawers slamming. When I walked into the hallway, she was packing her suitcase again, frantic, trembling. "I have to go," she said, without looking up. "I stayed too long." Something inside me snapped. I had been patient for days, but now I needed answers. "Mara, what's going on? You can tell me. Are you in danger? Do you need help?" She froze, completely stopped moving. Then she looked at me, and for the first time since she moved in, I saw real fear in her eyes. "It isn't me who's in danger. It's you." Before I could respond, someone knocked on the front door 3 times. Slow, heavy. Mara flinched so violently she dropped her suitcase. "He found us," she said under her breath. I didn't know what she meant by us, but I knew one thing. I wasn't opening that door. I pulled her back toward the hallway, motioning her to stay quiet. The knocking continued, louder this time. Then a voice called out, "Mara, you know why I'm here." She looked at me with guilt carved across her face. "He tracked my location," she whispered. "He always does." She explained everything in a rush, her voice trembling the whole time. Months earlier, she had rented a room to a man who seemed harmless, but he became obsessed, controlling, and manipulative. When she finally left, he followed her across the city, breaking into her old place and taking things that belonged to her. She filed multiple complaints, but nothing worked. He always found her. The whispers I heard every night, she was practicing what she'd say to authorities if something happened again, trying to stay calm, trying to keep control. The locked door? Her only sense of safety. And the message from the collector? That was the name he used online when he tracked her accounts. Everything snapped into place. But something didn't add up. Why did she say I was in danger? Then she told me the part that made my skin crawl. He told me I wasn't allowed to live with anyone. He said if I ever tried, he'd make sure I lost more than just a home. He watches the places I go. He must have seen me bring my stuff here. Suddenly, the knocking stopped. Silence. Then, footsteps. Leaving. Or so I hoped. I peeked through the peephole after several minutes. No one was there. The hallway was empty. I turned around to tell Mara, but the hallway behind me was empty too. She had vanished. Her suitcase, her coat, everything, gone. Like she had never been there, except for one thing. On the kitchen table, under the dim light, lay a small folded note addressed to me. My hands shook when I opened it. I didn't want you involved. I'm sorry. He knows you're building now. Be careful who you trust. I spent the next week changing locks, installing cameras, even staying with a friend for 2 nights. I never saw Mara again. But 2 days ago, something happened that made every nerve in my body stand still. A message appeared on my phone from an unknown number. You weren't supposed to help her, Charlotte. And attached was a picture. A picture taken from the hallway outside my apartment door. Last night. So if you hear someone whispering behind a door, if someone locks themselves away every night, or if someone warns you to be careful who you trust, believe them. Because I didn't. And now, someone else knows exactly where I live.